Coming up on this episode of the Hitstreak.
I kind of feel like I've hit that part where I'm like, okay, you don't need anything else to do. Although I love many things to do. I think I have now 7 or 8 irons in the fire. So how am I growing that?
A smile can do more than brighten a face. It can rebuild a life. Smiles for Recovery is a nonprofit restoring confidence and dignity for individuals recovering from substance use by providing free, compassionate dental care. Addiction often causes serious dental damage, leading to pain, isolation, and lost opportunities. Smiles for Recovery changes that. Through a growing network of volunteer dental professionals, they offer cleanings, extractions, and full restorations, empowering people to re-enter the workforce, reconnect with loved ones, and literally rebuild their lives. Every single smile tells a story of healing, strength, and second chances. You can be a part of that story. Whether you're a dentist, a donor, or someone who believes in second chances, your support changes lives. Visit smilesforrecovery.org to learn more and get involved. Together, we're restoring smiles and renewing lives. Whoa. Check this out. Some of the world's biggest success stories started with nothing. Just grit, hustle, and a story worth hearing. So if you've clawed your way up, if you've built something out of nothing, if you've got a story that people need to hear, folks, this is your shot. The Hitstreak isn't just a podcast. It's a platform not just for top performers, it's also a platform that takes real stories from underdogs, builders, and dreamers, and it puts them on the map. Your story, your brand, your breakthrough. Apply now to be a guest. We'll put you in front of millions of viewers worldwide. You'll get pro-level content, high-level exposure, and a seat at the table with people who've been there and made it out. I'm not only looking for polished top performers. I'm looking for real stories from real people. If you've been through the fire and came out stronger, you belong on this show. Apply now. This is your moment. Email management@nickhyder.com or comment or DM the word Hitstreak to apply. The Hitstreak is where rags to riches stories have been told, and the next one could be yours. Blessings, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Hitstreak. I am your man, Nick Hyder. And folks, the main attraction, the overall attraction is back in the Hit Lab today, joining me on the Hitstreak for his 3rd time, if I'm not mistaken, as our guest. Folks, let's give it up for the singer, songwriter, speaker, the overall attraction himself, the king of Walmart drip. Bigg Vinny is back in the building. Vinny, dude, you came in hot, man. What's been going on?
Man, I've been all over the place, but I spent the last Labor Day weekend, I spent in a cornfield, but I had my biggest promotion of all time in French Lick, Indiana. We had Montgomery Gentry, Saving Abel, Taylor Holder, Bigg Vinny, which was the main attraction, or AKA the overall attraction. Yeah, baby, give me that hit. Man, I've just been having a good time. It's been cool to, test all the waters. I don't think you had enough things on there when you talk about all the stuff I do. A singer, dancer, romancer. I'm all those things, But, I think for me, I get too bored if I just do one thing or two things. Like, I need a lot of stuff to do. And because if I focus on one thing too long, I get bored with it and I get tired of it. But if I can go do this for a little bit and this for a little bit and that for a little bit and that for a little bit and then come back to the other stuff, it keeps me excited, keeps me motivated, and I don't get as bored with it. So,
folks, if you needed a life lesson, that was a great one.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Give yourself more stuff to do.
That's it. That's right. And don't complain about having a lot on your plate.
And the rest of these gurus out there are going to say, find the one thing and focus on it. Well, you know what? I'm not everybody else, okay?
That's exactly right. Yeah. You're one of one.
I'm the overall attraction. I'm one of one. Don't try to do what I do. You'll probably fail. I fell on about half the stuff I try, and the other half of the stuff works out okay, and one or two things has worked out good. So there you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Folks, you can find him online at BiggVinnyOfficial.com. Remember, that's with 2 G's. And all of his social media is Bigg Vinny Official. So something new that we got to talk about. Tell me a little bit about DJ Bigg Vinny.
You know what? It's kind of wild. I've been told for years. Actually, our buddy DJ Silver was talking about. I was like, "Oh man, you'd be a great DJ." He said that. My buddy Chance, you remember Chance? Chance has kind of always said, "Man, you ought to do DJ." And I'm like, "I'm not a DJ. I'm a musician. I'm this. I'm that." Well, that all changed. I went to the Rio and played for 4th of July, and they paid me pretty good. Got paid about $15,000 to go out there and play.
Let's go.
Which I was excited about. It was a pretty good day for me. And, it's a holiday. And so, I do pretty well, but that was on the upper end of what Bigg Vinny gets. Now, Trailer Choir can get more than that, but that's what I get. So anyway, so I go out there play and I get to talking to the DJ that's going to be doing the pool parties that week, for the 3 days. And he's going to be doing the what's it called? The rooftop parties. So he said, yeah, I gave him a heck of a deal because they gave me 5 shows. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I said, what'd you do it for? He said, $3,500. I was like, well, that's good. That's like $700 and something a show. That's pretty good money. He goes, no, $3,500 a show. And I was like, wait a second, you're getting $17,500? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, and you didn't have to pay any band member or flights or hotels or food? Or he's like, no, just they put me on a flight. I came out here. I got in. I loaded up and we got to go. Now, DJ Dude, DJ Dude, been friend with him, known about him, more so, but came better friends with him while we were there. And I was like, well, dadgum. So I'm like waiting to watch. Now I'd seen like DJ KO, they do all the mixing while they're up there on the stage and they're crazy at it. Well, he showed me like, really, you got to keep the vibe going. You got to play the right song at the right time and know when to get out of a song if it ain't hitting. Know how to keep the party up. That's really what the DJing thing is about, talking to people, keeping the party up. And I'm like, dude, I can do that. Yeah. If I'd have known that this whole time, I thought I had to mix songs. Now I'm learning how to do that stuff because I want to be great at it. I want to be great. Like DJ Silver, like DJ KO, some of our other DJ Hits, some of our good buddies that do this stuff. But I had to start somewhere. So I went ahead and bought one of the top of the line DJ boxes, the DL10. I won't tell you what I call it, but DL or DFL10. You can imagine what I call it. But I went ahead and bought that thing. I bought a brand new MacBook Pro. I went out to my buddy Chance's house, Timothy Chance, y'all know him. I went out to Chance's house. He sat down with me. He showed me a bunch of stuff, showed me how to get all the songs, all that kind of stuff. Spent quite a bit of money buying songs. So I'm like, you know what? I want to buy the songs because I'm an artist and I'm a musician. And I'm a songwriter. So I want to support the people that put it out there. But I went through and done a ton of work to, kind of learn it. Well, he calls me like 2 days after I went and did my first practice. And he says, hey, got you a gig. I'm like, I'm not ready for a gig. He goes, yeah, you are. I was like, no, I'm really not. Next thing I know, another guy calls me DJ King. DJ Kane calls me. He says, hey, I heard you were ready to DJ. I'm like, no, I'm really not. He goes, well, why not? I said, man, I don't know how to do all the mixing stuff, all these things. He goes, man, you got the songs? I said, yeah. He goes, you got the controller? I said, yeah. He goes, can you talk to people and put on a show? I was like, absolutely. He's like, well, sounds like you're ready to me. Let's be at Hank's Bar in downtown Nashville on the rooftop on Saturday night. And I went in and I knocked it out of the park, to be honest with you. I mean, I had the most fun. It was such a different thing than what I thought. People had so much fun. They were dancing, all that stuff. Kept the party going for 4 hours. They immediately invited me back to do John Bon Jovi's club the next weekend, and now they got me coming in every couple of weeks. I'm going in and doing Hank's. I'll actually be there this weekend, but that'll be before this airs. But I'll be at Hank's, rocking out the rooftop the next couple of nights.
DJs, so. You've been warned.
Hey, no, I'm working together with you. Let's do this thing together. If you want to come up and be the mixer, let me be the personality. I'm ready for that.
Let's go.
I just like to host,
Well, it in another life, how I met Silver was actually because we had some places downtown, and that's usually where I had was in the DJ booth because I could control the revenue that way. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
absolutely, and I loved it. DJ Swayze was what they used to call me back in the day.
You do look like Swayze. I can see you Swayzeing it up.
And but back then, like we had to wag our controllers back and forth. Now, Rod Urey was telling me the other day, he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I just got a backpack and a laptop now. It's all I take in. They already got the controller sitting there waiting on me now."
Well, I'm still taking mine in at the moment. So, but they said they got their own equipment that I can learn on. But I got that DFLX10. I call it the Dick Flex 10. That's all I'm saying. It's Pioneer. It's brand new. I've been using it. So I wasn't going to say the name, but I felt like I had to, I mean, I was flexing on them.
Well, everybody needs to be flexed on today.
Yeah, sometimes you got to flex on them.
That's right. Well, dude, that's DJ Bigg Vinny. That's cool. Well, do me a favor. First of all, how do I get on a push text notification anytime you're DJing so I can be like, hey, Rick, we got to get downtown babysitters?
Well, yeah, I know you sit around and wait for my notifications on social media. I do tag you on a lot of them, but I'll tag you whenever I'm going to be down there. I'll be down there Friday and Saturday night this weekend if you want to come down to Hank's and come to the rooftop and see DJ Bigg Vinny. I actually got some of Silver's mixes. I've got some of...
They're so good.
The Tipsy Dust, which was the one that kind of started his whole thing, I believe. It's what I start the show off with. And I always talk about DJ Silver. I make sure I give love where it goes. I don't sit up there and act like it's me mixing it. I think that's kind of a thing in the DJ world is to act like you're mixing it. I don't do that. I'm just like, hey, this is my boy DJ Silver. It's one of the best mixes I've heard. It's so cool. And then kind of go into, the song and let it play. And then I actually sing along with it. So one of the things I think I'm doing different as a DJ is I'm singing, I'm taking my guitar with me and plugging it in. If I feel like the room could handle an acoustic song, I'll play an acoustic song. If I feel like, hey, I can play along and sing with this, I'll play along and sing with it right there on the spot. So
that's cool.
Make it a little different. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Use all my talents or whatever. I guess they called learned talents, little things I've learned along the way.
That's right. That's right. And dude, it's crazy downtown.
It is wild. That's the hardest part of the DJ, and it's just getting to the parking, and then getting from the parking to the gig, and then at nighttime when you're done with the gig, getting back to your parking.
That's right.
And then getting out of Nashville. But I love it. A lot of people, they don't like that. Well, I wish we had the old Nashville, and I loved old Nashville. I grew up in old Nashville. We were together, but I love to see us turning into something that is going to make sure that for future generations, there's going to be a lot of jobs for musicians, a lot of jobs for the singers and the songwriters and performers, and not just now the performers that write songs and sing songs and play guitar, but like the stuff like with what Chuck Wicks is doing with Shiners. You got contortionists and people that are the Vegas style performers and stuff coming in. I love to see that for Nashville, and I believe in the next probably 10 years. I think there'll be gambling, in Tennessee. I think that there'll be casinos. I agree. I think Nashville will become I guess the Vegas of the East, that for that matter. I think there'll be casinos, and I think there'll be a lot of performers. And my only hope is that they value the performers and they pay them the right way. And I think they do well at that in Vegas, on some levels. I hope they always keep that here in Nashville. I hope they always say, hey, this is Music City. We want to take care of the artists, take care of the people. I feel like downtown, a lot of people think, those guys don't pay a lot of money, but man, you can make good money playing downtown Nashville. I mean, they might only pay you $150, but if you break down $150 over 4 hours, that's not bad money. I mean, that's more than most people make on an hourly wage.
Yep.
But then you make tips. I mean, I got guys that go down there that make over $100,000 a year playing music. 4 hours, 3 45-minute sets, whatever. And they might do doubles some days and things like that. But they work 4 days a week, and then they have 3 days a week off, and they're doing what they love.
That's right, and they get to say no if they don't want to do it.
Yeah, they can also say no. That's not good enough.
That's right.
And there's some of those that have built a following down there and have built a thing on Broadway that they're making a lot more than just $150. Thing. I mean, you saw the Spasmatics guys. I mean, they've turned it into a pretty big business.
That's right. That's right. Some of those old bands that we used to book back then.
Yeah, Velcro Pygmies.
Yeah, dude. That's right. That's right. Well,
Super T.
Well, DJ Bigg Vinny, and then the big promotion in French Lick. That's freaking. It's hard to pull those things off.
Oh my gosh! If you knew how much work goes, you have to love it because it's not like there's a bunch of money unless you grow into a Country Thunder or a Wee Fest or something like that. But in order to get there, you have to go through all those hard seasons. So this is our third year. First year we had Colt Ford, he crushed it. Second year we had Tyler Farr, he crushed it. This year I was like, hey, well, let's go to a 2-day festival. Colt, I did about 1,200, 1,300 tickets on sold tickets. And then on Tyler, it was somewhere around that same area. And then on Montgomery Gentry's night, we sold about 1,300, 1,400 sold tickets. And on Saving Abel's night, we did about 500 or 600, which was a lot harder night because it was the Saturday night of Labor Day weekend. And Saturday, people were on the lake all day. So we're up at Patoka Lake. But man, it was so great. We probably had, I said 1,800. We probably had over 2,000 people come through between the 2 days. And man, they had a great time. But it takes a lot of money to pull those things off. You got to have security. You got to have stage and lights and production and workers and fencing and porta-johns and all these kind of things going on. And you got to make sure people are safe. You got to take care of people. You got to give them stuff to do, not just the concert, but you got to have bouncy castles. And we had a mechanical bull and a bubble house and all the different vendors and all the different, it's a lot to put on, but we're growing something big. I think within the next 4 or 5 years, we'll be having a $500,000 headliner out there. We'll have 10 to 15,000 people a night. I think it's going to be something really big.
What's the name of that festival again?
Party at Patoka.
Party at Patoka. Yeah. Love it. Party at Patoka. Yeah. So, shameless plug here, Vinny. If you ever, next time you're having one of those, think of me. I love interviewing people before they go on backstage or when they come on.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome to have you up there doing that.
I love doing that stuff.
Dude, it was fun too. And we had Taylor Holder. Taylor has got like 20 million TikTok followers. This dude's built a little empire from social media. Yeah. And I think he's going to be a massive star. I really do. I think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be filling up arenas and stadiums and all kinds of stuff within the next 4 or 5 years.
Man, that's exciting stuff, dude. That's incredible. It's congratulations on all of it, man. That's cool.
Thank you.
That's cool.
It's fun.
Hi, folks. I'm your man, Nick Hyder, and I just want to say a quick thank you for all of you, the millions of you tuning into the Hitstreak. If you have not already, subscribe to the Hitstreak on all digital platforms. Share your favorite episodes with your friends, your team, literally whoever needs a lift. We've built a worldwide audience of millions, and we're just getting started. Every episode, we're breaking down the playbook of top performers so that you can get to that next level too. We're literally getting the information from the people that have it to the people that need it by bringing on guests that everybody knows and some that not everybody knows yet. So again, thank you for being a part of this movement. Keep listening, keep sharing, and keep leveling up with the Hitstreak. So as you're sitting here today, I just found out about the Fit for TV, the reality of The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
All right. So I got, because like that's how a lot of people were introduced to you, was
absolutely
what you did on that show, which is incredible, right? So remind everybody real quick where you went in and where you left on The Biggest Loser.
Yeah, so that year I was over 500 pounds, and I went to the hospital and found out I had a bad infection in my leg, was in danger of losing my leg. Found out I was diabetic, my liver was messing up, my kidneys were messing up, all these things. Now I thought I was invincible because I was Bigg Vinny, and I was on the road with Toby Keith. I was living my dream, had a hot girl, like all these things. I was like, I was the man, But diabetes don't care. Diabetes don't care how cool you are, how much money you got. Like cancer don't care. None of these things care. You look, even Steve Jobs. You look at some of the big. If there's no cure, there's no cure. Well, there was a cure for mine. It was called quit being a lazy a-hole and stop eating bad sugar. I actually wasn't lazy, but I wasn't getting in the things I needed to do to take care of my body. Anyways, ended up in the hospital. Had to lose, I lost about 74, 75 pounds, 76 pounds, something like that before I even got on the show. And I was 426 when I started the show, and I lost all the way down to 242.
Wow.
Yeah, completely saved my life. I was on my way out. I wasn't going to make it. I wasn't going to make it to 40 or to 30 years old, let alone now I'm 42. Mm-hmm. So that's been 14 years ago. Completely saved my life, changed my life, gave me an opportunity. So when this documentary was coming out, I was like, okay, this would be cool. It's something kind of about the show. Mm-hmm. And then I already saw it was going to be a hit piece.
Did they? I've only seen that first episode. I haven't seen the rest. Are you in the documentary?
I'm not in it at all.
Okay.
I think they interviewed 7 total people out of 380 contestants. And most of the ones that they interviewed had either a negative experience or are in a negative part of life now.
Yeah.
Now Danny, the guy that was on there, is a good friend of mine. He's honest. He just says, hey, I did everything I had to do to lose all the weight so I could win. He was the biggest loser of all time. Lost 52% of his body weight while on the show. Affected his metabolism really bad, but he talks about it. He was like, I did a master cleanse. I did, starved myself eating 800 calories a day. I did all these things. Well, when you go on the show, they give you a number. This is your number you need to eat minimum every day. Mine was 2,400 calories. And that was with a 45% carb, 35% fat, and 20% 45% carb, 35% protein, and 20% carbs. That's the way my diet was broken up, and you're given to you on an individual basis. So I had to follow exactly what they said because Dole Vet, who was my trainer on there, said, hey, you need to eat those calories every day. I'm going to check your books. He came in and checked our books every night, made sure that we ate those calories.
That's good.
Well, on the flip side, I think Jillian and Bob, who, I don't know Jillian, but Bob was a great guy. But he based it off of, hey, you can eat 800 calories a day. You're going to get through. You're going to, survive. Protein was kind of what he said to stick to, lean and mean kind of deal. But pushing people on 800 calories a day is not good. You know what I mean? It's you might lose weight, but you're going to lose fat. You're going to lose muscle. You're going to lose all kinds of things that maybe you don't need to lose.
Maybe some integrity.
Yeah, probably some integrity. Well, I think a lot of these guys, when they decide to do it, they're just listening to a guy or a girl that they think knows everything. Whereas for me, I was being told, hey, you need to eat all this food because you need to keep your muscle mass. Well, I gained, and which I know there'll be a lot of experts out there that say you can't gain muscle while in a caloric deficit. I gained 11 pounds of new lean muscle mass while I was on that show and losing 184 pounds, I think, on the show and 258 pounds throughout that entire year. And, allegedly, if you listen to the experts, you can't gain muscle while in a deficit. Well, I gained 11 pounds of new muscle and 27 pounds of total muscle mass was added to my body, even in that weight loss time. So if you really added mine up, even though, so I gained 27 pounds of muscle, lost 186 pounds. So I would have been, or 184 pounds. So I'd have been 200 and something pounds really of actual fat loss, I guess you'd say. So it changed my life, saved my life. And so when I watched it, I kind of watched it. I wanted to be open-minded, but I knew it was going to be a hit piece. Of course, at the end, you're not there yet, but they push the Ozempic, which is...
Do they really?
Oh, yeah. They push
No.
it. Yeah, they push it at the end with the two ones that are just super jaded. The rest of them are just telling their experience. They had a bad experience or it didn't turn out the way they thought it would. They're not necessarily hitting on the show. But there's two of them on there that are they just want to hit it with everything they can. Both of them are on Ozempic now. And they're telling their story. Well, Ozempic has changed everything for me. I'm like, you still haven't addressed the problems. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's working for you right now. In 3 years, 5 years, I bet we see them on the next documentary talking about Ozempic ruined my life,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying all GLP-1s are bad and all that kind of stuff. I think there's ways to use certain things, but if you're just using it for weight loss, and that's your thing, especially guys that got 20 or 30 pounds to lose, like I think if you haven't tried changing your diet and exercising properly, maybe don't go to the GLP-1 just yet,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I look at it and I think everybody's journey is their own, and I don't take any of their stuff for granted. Whatever their feelings are, their feelings. But that don't always mean that it's fact. Just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean it's a fact.
That's right.
And they felt like the show didn't take care of us. I had doctors on me every single day. I got rhabdomyolysis while I was on the show, and they literally stopped me, shut me down. I wasn't allowed to work out, wasn't allowed to do anything. So when I lost 5 pounds, they don't tell that on the show, but I lost 5 pounds the second week, and a lot of the other guys lost 10, 12, 15, whatever. Well, I wasn't allowed to work out because I developed rhabdomyolysis, which is basically where your internal organs will start to shut down because your body is overloaded, I guess.
Right.
And that's a simplification. There's probably experts that know way more about it than I do. But all I knew is they come to me and said, hey, you got to stop working out right now. You can do nothing but eat healthy and sit. And I was allowed to walk a little bit every day, but I couldn't do like any kind of intense anything.
Got it.
But like I said, when I saw it, I got disappointed, and I went on there just to say, look, their journey's not my journey. I had a great journey on there. I enjoyed it. I lost, all that weight, changed my life, saved my life. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair today. I wouldn't have the wife and the kids I have and the life experience I have. I wouldn't be out there helping raise money for charities and doing all the other things. I fully believe that show gave me such a great second chance at life. Now, people say, have you kept all the weight off? Well, of course I hadn't kept it all off. The last probably 20 pounds was a sweat out that I did the night before the show. I was really probably about 260 or so pounds, 265 maybe, before the sweat out, And that was the only time I ever actually played the show was when every other time I was just going in there saying, hey, I just want to lose the weight and learn how to be better. But that last little bit, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will do a little sauna suit and a sweat out the night before. I ended up having to drink Gatorade before I went on the last thing. So that was the only time I ever tried it. And I still had to drink Gatorade. Now, was it as 20 pounds? No, it was about 4 pounds, 5 pounds added on of Gatorade before they'd let me actually win. Because you do have to be hydrated to Olympic levels, not just regular levels, Olympic levels. In order to get on that scale, you have to be hydrated to Olympic levels.
Man, there's in a show like that, there's so much that the average person probably wouldn't consider just because of all the health risks that are on there. I mean, I bet the paperwork you had to sign was...
Oh, it's through the roof, and they said of course they signed the contracts and they said they didn't want to combat the contracts. Well, I actually did go after some of the contracts because some of the stuff said like, basically if I, created a song while I was on there, they would own it, all this other stuff. So I got all that language taken out. But as far as everything else, it was just basically saying, you have to understand that they can put on camera whatever they want to put on camera. They can only put on there what you give them. But, you might be portrayed as the villain. John was the villain on our season. Theoretically, John and Rumple.
I got to go back and watch your season again.
But John was a great guy. I mean, he really was. He just wanted to win. He was trying to adopt a daughter. He was trying to make the money to do that. He was dead set. There was nobody going to beat John. The only time that we would have had a chance, the dude, I'm telling you, had like a 140, 150 IQ. He would calculate and tell everybody he'd know exactly how much everybody's going to lose every week within a pound.
Wow. It
was incredible to watch him work. And there was one time that we could have possibly got him. And he was my roommate and me and him got along great. There's one time we could have got him and I had a 3-pound weight advantage. And I knew I was going to still crush it that week. At that point, I was losing 10 pounds a week every week. And I had figured it out exactly what I needed to do, exactly what I needed to eat. I knew I was
Isn't that awesome when you finally figured that out?
I finally figured it out, and I knew exactly what I had to do. I got up every morning at 5 o'clock. I drank a whole thing of water, used the bathroom, went outside and walked 3 miles, come back in, ate breakfast, and I'd have egg whites, raspberries, and maybe some oatmeal. Then I would go back out and do 3 more miles. Then I'd come in, we'd do our workout. Then I'd walk 3 more miles. I mean, I was just walking all day.
Yeah.
But once I figured that out, now that's how I lost 10 pounds a week. I don't suggest that. That's not a right goal. a 1 or 2 pounds a week is a great goal for somebody. But either way, we could have got him that 1 week. Now he ends up getting an advantage because he won an award. He got to give a 1 or 2 pound disadvantage to somebody. And so I had a 3 pound advantage. I think his was a 1 pound disadvantage. Mine was a 3 pound advantage. So I went to him. I said, hey, because he didn't want to be the bad guy. He already knew, like, man, they're going to cast me as the bad guy, all this other stuff. And he was a teacher and a football coach, and I'm really seriously a great dude. And but he did play the game. He wanted to win, you know. But he came to me. He said, what do you think I should do, Vinny? And I said, well, if you don't want to be the bad guy, you just give me the 1 pound disadvantage. I said, then I still have a 2 pound advantage. And if I don't lose enough to stay, that's on me. You know, I said, if I didn't have any advantage, I should lose enough to stay. And he was like, yeah. He goes, that'd be the nice thing to do. He goes, let me just think about it and pray about it. He come to me. I promise you, he came to me before. He goes, I can't give it to you. If I give it to you, I'm going home. I'm like, what do you mean you're going home? There's only one person I can give it to. I can't remember if he gave it to Sonny or gave it to Ramon, or maybe he gave it to Sonny. Either way, he gave the disadvantage to one person. That's the only person I can give it to, and me be safe and be above the red line. And I was like, well, I said, I don't know. I mean, and of course I didn't know. At that point in time, I'm like, yeah, he's crazy. There's probably 3 or 4 people he could give it to. Nope. That was the only person. And it was within 1/100th of a pound.
Wow.
And if he hadn't given it to her, I think we gave it to Sonny. If he hadn't given it to her, then he would have been below the red line, and he would have got voted out.
Dude, it's, you know, after school, I got certified for a lot of things for nutrition and fitness.
Yeah.
I worked with folks when I was playing pro ball. I was in unbelievable shape. I mean, unbelievable shape.
You still look good, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold
you know,
on.
you used to be 240 pounds.
I did. Nasty dog.
Yeah.
I questioned.
Oh, flappy hitter.
Dude, I questioned my wife's judgment.
Yeah, me too. I still
back.
question it, but you know, I question my wife's judgment too, though.
Well, it's all I can say is like, you know, for me, it's such a journey to figure out actually how your body, what drives your body, what hurts your body, what slows things down, and then you factor age into it. Age,
injuries, unexpected things. I mean, car wreck. You know, you never know. I mean, you step off the curb wrong and twist your ankle. You know, for me, I mean, it was one of the biggest things happened to me in 2019. I tore out my peroneal tendon in my left ankle. Yeah. I haven't been able to run ever since, you know, and I had 2 surgeries, and I had to fuse the joint, all this kind of stuff. And I used to run 2 and 3 miles every day. It was just part of my routine. I didn't really do it necessarily for the cardio as much as I did for my mind, you know, because it would take me, you know, to run a 5K, I was running in about 30 to 35 minutes on average. So, I mean, you go to do 3 miles in 30 minutes, you're going to be fine. But now if you're running for hours on end, you're going to start burning muscle. So
Rhiannon and I started walking every day back in like 2019, 2020. And it's like literally to this day. So it's so cool in the neighborhood that we live in. If you leave our driveway and you just walk the outside of the sidewalk from start to finish right back to the driveway, it's exactly 2 miles.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's perfect.
And that's usually a good phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like both of us.
I do so many phone calls while I'm walking.
That's it. Like I love it. I actually time my phone calls where I'm not going to have to be on a Zoom or anything, where I can that's going to be when we go out walking. We still do it every single day, 2 or 3 times a day usually. Yeah. So 3 to 6 miles a day is like just normal for us to walk. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why when they started saying, if you can get 10,000 steps in a day, I started, you know, where I might go on my phone. Just my phone will be like, oh, I got 15,000, and that thing was sitting on the charger for half the day.
That's right.
Know?
That's right.
So I realized it was just normal for me to get 10,000. But a lot of people have desk jobs, are not out doing stuff, things like that. So they do have to go and walk afterwards to hit those steps. You know,
even when Rhiannon and I are going to have a conversation about upcoming vacations, or we're dreaming, or anything really, like even just talking about new budgets on the personal front. Yeah, we hit it on that. We talk about it on the pavement.
I love it.
Hit on the pavement. Like we just love, and folks, like, again, you just got to move, man. You got to move. Are you ready to take your brand digital? At HitLab Creative, we don't just make content. We build your digital foundation from the ground up. So whether you're launching a podcast, creating scroll-stopping social media content, or building a website that actually converts, we connect all the dots. Podcast production, CRM systems, content strategy, data analytics, branding, it's all under one roof. Because in today's world, content without strategy, it's just noise. And you're here to make an impact. So if you're ready to launch smarter, grow faster, and create with a purpose, it's time to team up with the Hit Lab. Visit hitlabstudio.com/studio-time and let's build something that lasts. Because the Hit Lab is where digital strategy meets data-driven content creation.
So many inventions and ideas. I actually listened to a podcast about this, but so many inventions and ideas and things when people tell the story. Well, I was out for a walk when this idea hit me. Sylvester Stallone talked about it in one of the podcasts I watched him on. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I posted about it. Whenever he would, walk around, he'd have that little rubber bounce ball.
Yeah.
He would walk and he would just bounce that ball, and that's how he would think, and that's how he'd come up with ideas and lines and all kinds of different stuff.
That's it.
The walking it's great for you. It's probably the safest and most useful exercise that you could do is just go walk.
And the coolest thing is like it becomes like a part of you. So like, dude, if it's raining outside or when it's February and it's 19 degrees out there, those are the days it really sucks. But not one time have I ever regretted doing it.
No, absolutely not. I like walking in the cold, actually. Walking in the cold don't bother me. Now, rain, unless I got the proper shoes on, there ain't nothing worse than having some wet, sloppy shoes and socks when you're trying to walk.
It's horrible.
Yeah, but like you said, that's why I throw on the Crocs and go for it, which I don't even wear Crocs. I wear Rugged Sharks. I just want to make that clear. Walmart drip.
That's right, baby. Yeah. That's right. And then we've got a flight of stairs in our house. And it's amazing what just walking up and down that sucker for 30 minutes will do.
Oh, it'll wreck you, dude. Stairs. That's what my wife, when she used to run the YMCA over here, I forget what part of town it was in, but off of Harding or whatever it was. But when she used to run that YMCA, she'd have these boot camps up there. Mm-hmm. And we get to the end of it. She goes, okay, we're going to do a stair finisher. I'm like, what's that mean? She goes, we're going to run the stairs for the last 15 minutes. I'm like, you mean we done all this work and now we're going to run stairs for 15 minutes? I go do it because I didn't want her to look at me like I was a lazy butt.
That's right.
So I go run those stairs for 15 minutes.
You never regret it when you do it, though.
Now, once you're done, you might regret it while you're in the middle of it, but once you're done with it, you're like, man, I did that.
That's right.
I think that's the biggest thing I tell myself in the mornings at 4. When you get up at 4 o'clock to go do your workout, that motivation sometimes, especially when it's about, in the 20s and below outside. Yeah. And you step out there to get in that car and you got to wait for the windshield to clear out. You're sitting there like, you know what? You could go back to, you could do this later on.
That's right.
And almost every time that I make that decision to go do it later on, 15 things come up in the middle of my way and I end up missing it or having to do it at 10 o'clock that night.
It's like, gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, 3 days a week, every week, 3 days a week, I get up at 4:30 and I'm in the gym by 5 doing my workout. And I swear I should do it every day. But then there's days that I DJ until 2 in the morning. Yeah. So I'm not going to get back up then because you do have to prioritize sleep. You have to get sleep. You have to get recovery. If you don't get those things, you're going to end up hurting yourself worse than if you miss the workout period. Yeah, that's right. So
even again, everybody needs, I can still remember my late grandfather, like 6 hours. That was how much sleep he'd always talk about. I just need that 6. I need my 6.
I'm a 4 to 6 guy. If I can get 4 to 6, I'm fine. If I can get 8, sometimes when I get 8, I feel too sleepy.
Yeah, I'm 6 to 7 is the sweet spot for me. Yeah. Anything less than that, like, dude, it's like my back always hurts. If I eat too much sugar at night when I'm having a little fun, maybe some Krispy Kreme donuts or something.
Little Krispy Kremers with some ice cream on top.
Dude, and between that and if I don't get 6 hours, like my back just hurts. It bothers me all day long.
Yeah. It's my ankle. I never really have any other issues. My ankle, every now and then my lower back, but a lot of that's more fatigue just from, doing HIT training. And, I don't do burpees anymore. I quit doing burpees.
Good for you.
I can still do them well. I'm good at burpees. Like I'm fast and I can get up and down really well. But I just started noticing, like, man, when I overdo the burpees, when I go in and do some of those classes, going like, oh, you got to do 50 burpees in 5 minutes or, so you're doing 10 every minute or whatever. And you don't realize how much stress and pressure it puts on your back. Now, somebody that's smaller, lower to the ground, stuff like that. But when I hit the ground, that's 340 pounds hitting the ground. You know what I mean? That's right. That's a real deal thing. So
things move.
Yeah. And, disc, they start just slipping right out of there, Now I've been blessed, because I do the worm and the splits, so up downs have kind of been part of my life. I call them up downs from football days. But like I said, burpees, burpees are not the best exercise for people. I think there's ways to get your heart rate up just as high without putting yourself through the stress that causes. And like I said, if you're in great physical, health and your core is strong and things like that, there are people that probably do it with no issues. But I think getting somebody that's not in great physical health and saying, jump down, slam your body on the ground, jump back up, don't use your back. Make sure you do. I mean, like, they're not going to do it right. They're going to end up hurting themselves worse. And I think we understood that when we owned a gym. I watched as people would do these things. Like, man, they're back. They would bow their back and round. I was like, you know what? We need to stop doing those burpees. And I started. You know what I did? I started doing these just called I just called them get off the grounds or get ups. I'd have them lay flat on their back and have to get all the way up, and I'd have them do that 10 times, and I'd have them 10 times to the left, 10 times to the right. So they're flat on their back. They got to roll over, get up 10 times to the left, 10 times to the right. Their heart rate would get up just as high, and they wouldn't put themselves in the danger. And it was a slower movement. It was longer a period of time doing it, but your heart rate would still get up to that, peak level and stuff.
It is crazy how far the ground gets away from you the older you get.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I was going to pick up that $1, but you know what? Somebody else will get
it. That's it. That's
you said $1 getting it,
Like when I was fat Nick, I used to like that was a thing. Like
you were Saint Nick.
I never wore socks, bro. You know why? Because like I couldn't. It sucked putting them on. I'd lose breath. I was out of breath putting on socks.
Dang. You were sloppy.
I'm telling you.
Because I'm 340 pounds and I have to have socks on. I don't like wearing shoes, period, without socks. Now, if I'm barefoot on the sand or something like that, I'm fine. But I mean, even if I'm wearing Crocs, if I was wearing sandals, I'd be a guy with sandals and socks on. I can't stand not having socks.
I didn't wear socks for years. And oh God, like clipping my toenails was like, it was hell.
I bite mine. Yeah. I get that. Listen, I'm flexible. I can get this thing all the way up here. I can bite them suckers right off.
Well, I wasn't flexible. I
really don't bite my toenails, but that would be funny though to see that.
It would be funny.
I'll do it for a video later.
That was the running joke is that my belly button was an innie, but I got fat and it became an outie. It just popped right out.
Oh, it come out. See, mine goes the opposite way. If I lose enough weight, it won't ever come out, but it'll be less of a hole there. Right now, it's like black hole, sun, won't you come? Yeah. That's what I feel like every time I look at myself in the mirror. I've always had a big, deep belly button. Even when I got down to my skinniest. When I got down, I was 238. I think after the show, I got down to 238 when I was going to train.
I was heavier than you at your lightest when I was my heaviest.
Yeah. Yeah, 238. That was my lightest.
That's crazy.
But that was when I was training for the bodybuilding thing, and I realized, like, that's not going to be my deal. In order for me to get to the body, I mean, I would have had to somehow drop another probably 30 pounds. Like I'd have been in that 200 to 210, whatever, in order to get on stage. And boy, the way that you have to eat, you have to be so meticulous.
Yeah.
Calculate everything in, exactly what time you're doing it. Get up and do an hour cardio in the morning, an hour cardio at night, 2 hour workout. I'm like, I'm not going to do all that.
Well, there's other priorities, ain't there?
Yeah.
There's other things that need attention.
Living life.
That's right. That's right. So it's funny because somebody called a minute ago, and if I had my phone on, true story, if I'd have had my phone,
you'd have answered it.
I would have. If it wasn't on vibrate, here's my ringtone.
Yeah, Walmart drip, Walmart drip. Yeah, come on with it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Timex.
Yeah.
Hey, it's such a fun song. I had the most fun writing that song probably that I've had since, the early Trailer Choir days.
Well, the music video is a freaking who's who.
Well, I got some friends that was willing to come in and do some stuff. I just wanted to make it fun, and we guerrilla shot that thing. We didn't ask no permission.
What Walmart was it?
I mean, like 6 different Walmarts.
Was it really?
We did the Cool Springs one. We did 2 of them in Murfreesboro, one in Mount Juliet, one in Jolton.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think we went to at least 5 different Walmarts, and we just walked in, and we didn't take the big camera setup and all that, and we didn't take any lighting. It's just a natural overhead light from that, and so we shot it where we could, we shot it in some of it in slow-mo so we could slow it down, do what we want to do. But I sent the song out, and I was like, hey, would y'all be willing to be in this? And, Chris Kirkpatrick, he was like, oh, yeah, that's a cool song, dude. Let's do it. It sounds fun.
Yep.
Miles Burris, the guy that's in the video with me the whole time, he played for the Raiders.
Yep.
And he's going to be in a really big movie coming out that I can't say on here, but hopefully whenever it comes out, we'll advertise it when it comes out. But his name is Miles Burris. Played for the Raiders, got hurt. He was a leading tackler on the team his rookie year. Like he was going to be a beast.
Yeah.
And got his knee tore out, kind of ended the career. But he was in Young Rock. He played Triple H in Young Rock. He was in Righteous Gemstones. He was the leader of the religious workout cult in Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
He was in Safety.
Okay.
He was one of the main characters in the movie Safety on the Disney Plus. He's been in a lot of stuff, and man, he's going to be a massive star. And you should get him. I'll get him to come in and do the podcast.
Love it.
He's the most entertaining dude. Like I wish I could say it's me, but you watch his videos. If you go and watch Miles's videos on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. I mean, he's great, and he films it himself. He edits himself. Everything he does himself. It's incredible to watch him. Miles Burris, check him out.
I will.
So we had him, and of course we had Butter in there. We had my boy Moon that is co-owner in the Buffalo River Resort with me, but he's also world famous. He's the only moon rock in the world that matters. And then I have my wife and kids in there. And at the very end, we get the big old cameo from Bradley, our buddy Bradley.
Couldn't believe it. I've been to Walmart with him one time in life. I think he bought the entire electronics section.
Yeah, he just bought it all. Hey, you know what's crazy is I didn't know. It was like. Me and him, I considered him a friend. I think he considers me a friend. At that point in time, I was like, man, I don't know. Would he really want to come and do this video? It's Walmart. It's not really on brand for him and all that kind of stuff. And so I sent him a message and the thing, and he's like, absolutely, Bigg Vinny. I'll come out and do it, And it's all, anytime I hear him talk, I can always hear him in his voice, like a stoic, I feel like you're fixing to learn everything kind of. It's like, oh, what's he fixing to teach us? I wouldn't even know if he was right. I just like, whatever he said is probably right, the way he says it. But he said, yeah. And then he went out of his way to make sure he came out there to be in it. And I was trying to think, okay, where does he fit into the video? And I was like, man, he's such a big character. I got to give him his whole own part. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the video, he just come up and be like, dude, you're Bradley. He's like, yeah, what's up, big dog? I'm like, man, I was like, are you going to buy that? He's like, you're going to trade. I've been thinking about trading this Rolex for a Timex. I'm like, really? He's like, no. And I thought that part just fit him so well. But man, the fact that he was willing to come out, and he spent probably 2 hours that day just filming with me and having a good time. And all these people that came out and spent their time doing it, none of them would let me pay them. They didn't even want to pay it. I tried to pay them, They just wanted to do it because they said they love Bigg Vinny. And, that kind of thing, you can't add that up on paper. It's like when they're willing to come out and spend their time, when they're those kind of folks that have 2 hours of his time, he could be making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I think he gets paid, $50,000 for a speaking engagement for 30 minutes, know? Like the fact that he come out and spent 2 hours with me, I mean, that's like $80,000, $100,000, whatever, $200,000.
That's right.
So it just means the world to me, and he knows he can call me for a favor anytime. I mean, I ain't gonna say we'll hide a body, but I got some shovels and lime. I'm just kidding. I always thought, I pick up my phone sometimes. I'm like, listen, to my CIA agent, whoever's listen, I know you're bored, but here's what I want to talk about today. Just know it's a joke, okay? Because I feel like we're always being watched. But I feel like my CIA agent, he's probably pretty bored. To be honest with you, probably tired of me using the bathroom and watching TikTok. Anyway, back to the story.
My CIA agent is probably bored of the same thing.
Yeah, just scrolling. It's like, oh, he's back scrolling again.
Yeah.
Oh, watch this funny cat video.
That's right.
But anyways, it was a blessing. That song was so fun. Ken Harrell, my songwriting mentor, that kind of took me in. Met him at church camp when I was 14. Came in on that song and wrote it with me, and my wife came in and wrote it with me. And it was one of those deals where it wasn't like they sit down and wrote the lyrics with me, but they had ideas and they had things. They're like, well, you should talk about this. I'm like, I didn't even think about that. So that's the reason I wanted to name every part of the store. So we got the 40-year-old dude that's going in to find him, some swimming trunks. Mm-hmm. His golf shirt, whatever. We got the 65-year-old dude that's getting his grandkids for the weekend and buying some odd and end stuff and getting his prescription filled. We got the mom that's in there getting the birthday list and carrying the kids around and buying the groceries and grabbing her a Jessica Simpson sundress, And we got the blue-collar worker that's going in there to get some tools and have a little fun, maybe get some flowers for his wife, whatever. So I just wanted to make it to where anybody could go in there and be like, that song's about me. I've done that exact same thing. So
that's right.
I think the only thing I really missed was going to the kids, I gave them the kids in the toy aisle, getting the birthday gift kind of thing. But I think I could write a whole song about Walmart just from the kid. I could do a whole nother Walmart drip just from the kid's standpoint. Going in, looking at toys, getting, wishing you could get it, but you can't because it ain't Christmas yet, whatever.
That's right.
So, and of course, Walmart's different now for us as kids. It was like, that was the treat. Like, dude, you're going to go to Walmart, you get to pick out a Ninja Turtle. Mm-hmm. Pick out one. No, you're not getting both of them, Yep. Now they're like, every day he'll be like, Dad, are we going to take me to Walmart today? I'm like, no, why would I take you to Walmart? Because I wanted this. And I'm like, okay. I make my kids work for stuff though. They have to earn things. They got to clean their room. They got to go out and pick up the dog poop. They got to, and they're 7 and 5. So, there's little odd and end jobs. but I want them to know that there's value in earning the things you want. I don't ever want them to feel like they can just get anything they want anytime. Not that they can't. I mean, I think if you're willing to ask and you're willing to put in the work, you can get anything you want. But don't expect to get anything if you don't put in the work to get it.
Are you ready to transform your business and unlock new revenue streams? At Processing First, we empower our partners with cutting-edge payment solutions and unparalleled support. We're more than just a one-size-fits-all payment processor. We're relationship-driven. By leveraging our extensive network of banking partners, we match you with the ideal bank to ensure that you receive the most competitive rates and deliver an exceptional experience for both you and your customers. Join a network that values transparency, efficiency, and growth. With our state-of-the-art POS systems and competitive processing rates, you can offer your clients the best in payment technology while boosting your own profitability. Why choose Processing First? Innovative solutions. Stay ahead with our advanced payment processing tools. Dedicated support. Our team is here to assist you every step of the way. Lucrative opportunities. Enhance your income by providing top-tier services to your clients. Don't settle for less. Partner with Processing First and take your business to the next level. Visit processingfirst.com to learn more and join our growing community of successful partners. I feel the same way about my son. My daughter, not so much. She gets
You know, I wasn't going to say it, but my daughter, she knows how to play the game a little better. You know, yeah. Daddy, I want this. No, you can't have that. You know, then I'm like, okay, you can have it.
My daughter loves Target. Loves Target.
You got to tell her, bro. You got to tell her Walmart drips a place. Although if Walmart don't hurry up and come on board with this song, I'm going to make it Target trip. Yeah. Put my head to my toes on that Target trip. I mean, I'm just telling you.
Walmart. The Walmart 2.0 song, is that Target?
Yeah. Walmart, you better come on board. I've seen you liking my stuff and commenting, but I ain't seen you jumping in with no money yet.
And Walmart, my daughter will be in the next music video, so we'll pull her off her Target habit.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I like where this is going. Walmart, hurry up. Don't miss this train.
That's right. Who else? So how 4, 5, 6 Walmart locations. How many days it take to shoot that sucker?
I mean, you know, a couple hours each day at each location.
Dude, that's cool.
We just now the biggest part of the video, me and Miles running around. We were probably in there for 5 hours that day in Mount Juliet filming that one.
Did anybody? So, I mean, you had again. A lot of people know who Chris Kirkpatrick is, know who Bradley is, who all these dudes are. Did anybody get recognized when you were doing that stuff at all?
Yeah, I mean, Kirkpatrick always gets, no matter where I go with Kirkpatrick, he gets recognized and somebody comes, he's so nice to everybody.
Yes, he is.
And what happens with him is when one mom, it's always a mom, when one mom notices him, all of them do. And then it's kind of, but he sits there, he signs every guy, listens to every story, loves on them. He's just the best dude. Like the fact that you've been an international iconic pop star, and you take that time with everybody, it just makes you feel good when you're around him. He treats everybody so well. Brad got noticed while we were there. I can't tell you, I went on that podcast. I think I got more ads, people like adding me from that podcast and sending me messages off of Brad Lee stuff. And when I shared the post, he collaborated with me on the one of him changing the clothes and everything. Dude, it got probably 90,000 to 100,000 hits on it. Probably way more than that now, but in the first part of it. And so many people message like, dude, how do you know Brad Lee? Miles got noticed actually. He's new into that kind of famous world because he had a football helmet on for a lot of his career, but now he's starting to get noticed. Like, I saw him in the Young Rocker. I saw him in this and that. So that kind of happened. Butter, nobody noticed Butter. Nobody noticed me. It's fine. We're still just trailer park. I mean, we're still just trailer choir.
But you shop there all the time already, right?
Yeah, we're already there. They see us every day. And then Taylor Holder, I'm just telling you, the guy's going to be a superstar. He probably got noticed 10 times by the younger generation. And that was kind of cool to see, like the different people notice the different people. And Walmart's got everybody. So, yeah, I mean, it was cool to be in there with them, watch them get noticed. The good thing is we tried to pick times where it wasn't going to be super busy because we didn't want to interrupt what they were doing, the workers, things like that. The worst thing would be at work and somebody's in your way trying to film something,
That's right.
I feel like that at the gym. People are like, why don't you do more gym content? I'm like, because every time I put up my phone in the gym, I feel awkward. I don't, if there's somebody else in there, if it's a busy day at the gym, you won't see me do it when it's busy. Just because I feel like somebody may not want to be in my video.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They may be in there getting their workout. They may be running from the cops. I don't know.
That's right.
But they may not want to be seen. So I try to do it when it's less full and not impede on other people's, freedoms and things like that. So.
I love it. I love it. So as we're recording this today, all right, it is the beginning of September, all right? But when this episode comes out, we are the holiday season is fast approaching,
it's
right?
Upon us.
And
that's my favorite time of year,
dude. And at the Buffalo River Resort, you got something a little special going on this year.
Yeah, a lot of people may not know, but back in 2021, me and a couple partners, my buddy Moon, actually my buddy Graham, who's since sold out his piece to my buddy Chris, we bought the Buffalo River Resort from another friend of ours, Mr. Tim Pardue. So we bought this place, and we started kind of saying, well, we're going to have some concerts, it's canoeing, camping, kayaking, all this kind of stuff. And every year we've talked about, man, we want to have something in October, like a haunted trail, haunted woods, and Miller's Thrillers was kind of my I used to live right above Miller's Thrillers on Gravel Hill Road. So I would see, man, all the traffic just pulling into Miller's Thrillers. And I was like, man, I would love to create something like that out there. And we're not going to do the zombie paintball and stuff like that. It's going to be a haunted moonshine still that burned down in the woods. And, you got to walk through it. And of course, it's all the remnants of who was there at the moonshine still and all that kind of stuff. But we finally decided this year to pull the trigger and said, you know what? We had one of our best summers outside of the first 6 weeks that rained. I don't know if y'all remember that, but it rained all the first 6 weeks of summer.
It did.
And we got, you can't put nobody, it wasn't just rain. It was lightning. It was wind. And we couldn't put people out there and be dangerous.
It's like every day.
But then after, literally from like the weekend of June 28th, my birthday on.
It hadn't rained since.
It hadn't rained since. And we've been packed. We've been slammed. So anyway, we finally decided, hey, we need to pull the trigger. We need to do this thing this year. Let's build out this deal. We obviously know this first year is going to be a trial run. We're going to see what works, what don't work, but we're going to keep it cheap, and we're going to make it where it's going to be a great experience. We already hiring professional actors to play the roles. We got Grandpa Bones. We got Slicer and Smiley. They're twin brothers that are both clowns. But they're redneck clowns wearing the overalls, and one with a cleaver, and one with the horn, Yeah. So we're going to add some comedy elements in there, some scary elements in there. We're going to have a festival up at the top for kids. So, people that don't want to go through a scary thing, we're going to have like a little, a hay maze, and we're going to have pumpkin painting and stuff, vendors, things like that up there. So we just want to make it a great event that people can come out to and enjoy and have a good time. But our goal is to build that thing out to where it's an attraction, just like Miller's Thrillers, just like Devil's Dungeon. I've been talking with Patrick that owns the Devil's Dungeon. He's been doing that thing for like 30 years here in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And he gave me some great tips. And the cool thing about this was all these guys that own these attractions, they were more than willing to help.
Really?
They love Halloween. None of them were like, oh, you're trying to be my competition, which I'm way far out there. I'm not even close to that. We're an hour outside of Nashville.
Normally the people that go to those things go to all of them.
They go to all of them. They want to see them. And they also realize like they're at their max capacity. Mm. I can't remember I think they do somewhere around $3 million in the month of October for Miller's Thrillers. Now that's gross. Obviously they have a big budget and they got to spend a lot, but my goal isn't to become rich off this. It's to keep people employed for a whole nother month, because we're normally Memorial Day to Labor Day, and then we're pretty much done for the year. We'll have some people staying in our cabins or at our RV park, but we don't have anything else. There's no people coming to float the river, so we don't have any of those employees employed anymore. And so they basically stop after Labor Day or a couple of weeks after, as it really dies down, and they don't have a job again until May. Mm. So now we're trying to say, okay, well, what can we do in October to extend that another month? And then how can we get into the Christmas season and have some weekends where we have a Christmas town?
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the next thing. And we're going to look at trying to do that this year. We don't know if we'll be able to do every week, obviously, because Christmas, a lot of people travel and there's things like that. But at least having Santa Claus, we got this big lodge out there, and it's got a 100-foot front porch with rocking chairs, doing it where you can come get your pictures with Santa out there and make it fun. I'm a Jesus guy, so I'm always like, Jesus is the reason for the season.
That's
so
right.
Anything I do will always make sure that Jesus is always going to be a part of that. And I'm not sure if he likes the haunted woods or not, but at the end of the haunted woods, we will have a church so you can go there and get forgiveness. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just feel like, we want to continue to offer more time of work for these kids, and especially a lot of these are high school kids that work for us. Mm. So how can we get more jobs for them and all that kind of stuff without us losing our butt? We can't go and lose our stuff. So if we can build this thing up, I'm looking for sponsors, trying to get the right people on board that, that this actually helps them as well. One of the things I do with sponsors, any of these events I do, whether it's a concert or this haunted woods, I try to make sure I bring in sponsors or go after sponsors that it's actually going to be beneficial to them as well.
Yeah.
So most sponsors, that are most beneficial to them is people that need lead generation.
Yeah.
Insurance companies, things like that, because we're going to get maybe 5,000 people come through there in the month of October. So all these people are from Middle Tennessee. Every one of them probably have to have insurance or they want to buy a car. So car dealerships, things like that. I want it to be beneficial to the person that's putting in the money. I've had a lot of, big builders and stuff. TDK has been a big sponsor for us. And they've done spent a lot of money with us doing things, but it really doesn't help them.
Right.
They're just doing it because they love Bigg Vinny or because they love the cause. Because a lot of our stuff, everything I do always has a charitable aspect. So we up in French Lick, we did stuff for the local school, raising money for their football team and their music program and things like that. That's what Music with a Mission is all about.
Yeah.
The stuff that we're going to do there in Perry County, there would probably be Mechanics on a Mission, which is my main charity. Smiles for Recovery. We work with those guys. We're always trying to make money for other causes and not make it just about, hey, what are we putting in our pocket? We want to put money in our pocket. Don't get me wrong. We're capitalists to the top degree. But if you're doing that and you're making good money and you're doing things, you need to do something good with what you're making as well.
Absolutely.
And if you don't plant that seed, you're not going to sow anything else. And
Come on.
so that's just kind of where we're at. We're going to have this haunted woods. It's going to be an awesome time, and come out and get scared.
I love it. When will all that kick off?
So the very first weekend of October, every Friday and Saturday night in October, we will have the Haunted Woods rolling and the little fall festival, whatever, pumpkin patch, whatever you want to call it, up at the top.
Everybody can find this on BiggVinnyOfficial.com.
BiggVinnyOfficial.com. You can see some of it, but you need to go to Buffalo River Resort TN. Buffalo River Resort TN for Tennessee.com. And we're also, it's Buffalo River Resort on Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. You can find it, Lobelville, Tennessee, and you'll enjoy it. We got a lot of cool stuff to check out anyway.
We'll make sure that URL gets in the show notes. I'm going to make sure if anyone I'm sitting here, they're watching me go on Instagram, I'll make sure I'm keeping up with all this. There it is. Boom. New follower.
On the Buffalo River Resort?
Yeah, baby.
Sweet. I'll follow you back.
Yeah, baby. I didn't even know.
I've been talking with our buddy Brian. What's Brian's last name?
Which one?
The baseball player. Brian. Him and his wife, they got a workout thing too. I don't know why I can't think of his last name right now.
Oh, Smith?
Yeah, Brian Smith. That's probably why I couldn't think of it, because there's a lot of Smiths in the world.
There's a lot of Smiths.
But Brian Smith, I've been talking with him about coming out, and he wants to come out there and set up his mobile podcast thing and do some podcasting out there and all that kind of stuff. He's a great dude. I mean, he's good people. I think I met him because of this podcast, maybe. Yeah.
Correct. That's right. Well, Bigg Vinny, what else are you excited about? 2025 has been a good year for you, man. It's crazy to think that we're already going into the holiday season.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I think, 2026, I mean, my big focus is continue growing my music and all that kind of stuff, but really hone in my skills better on my promotion side of my company. How do I make these promotions better? How do I become a better promoter on the big shows that I do on that side of it? Hone in my DJ skills. I want to do as many full band shows as I can, but honestly, it's becoming harder and harder to do that because it's so much. Like, I have to find people that are willing to give me $10,000 and $15,000 every single time. Like, I can't really tour any less than that because, I mean, just my band alone is going to cost me $5,000 or $6,000 to even go on the road. So I'm trying to look at, like, how can I still do the things I love and do, what I'm going to do and be profitable. I do want to supply jobs for other people. I think that's important. But my first and foremost is always going to be my wife and my kids. Making sure that they have food in their belly, roof over their head, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is my number one. But I think just growing, continuing to take all the things I've got. I kind of feel like I've hit that part where I'm like, okay, you don't need anything else to do. Although I love many things to do. I think I have now 7 or 8 irons in the fire. So how am I growing that? Real estate wasn't really something I was necessarily going to get into. But over time, just realizing like, oh, you referred a whole lot of houses,
Yep.
And when you refer those houses, there could be money there. So I went in and got my real estate license, and I already got my first listing, So
let's go.
That's exciting. It's a $799,000 listing, so it's pretty cool. I want to do great for those people that entrust me with listing their houses or finding them the proper home.
Big listings.
Listings.
Those small houses you got to stay on.
I'll sell anything. I'll sell you a 5-acre piece of property. Actually, I'll sell me a 5-acre piece of property.
There you go.
Don't put property up for sale in front of me because I want to own as much land as I can. But yeah, I think just honing in those things, trying to be the best dad I can be. My kids are 5 and 7 now. And I think this is, obviously I've been great with them when they're young kids, but now they're getting the age where they have their own desires, their own wants and needs, and they're in school. And, prime example. So yesterday, my son comes home from school And he says, "Hey, Dad, we listened to this new song today from K-Pop Demon Hunter." And I'm like, what in the world is K-Pop Demon Hunter? I don't know what that is.
Is that a breakfast cereal?
Yeah, well, it's apparently it's a #1 show on Netflix for kids.
What? Hey, pardon this quick interruption, but it's a good one. You're listening to this ad right now, which means someone else could be listening to your ad in this exact spot. That's right. If you've got a business, a brand, a product, a podcast, or even just a message you want people to hear, you should be advertising right here on the Hitstreak. This is the moment, the placement, the audience, and you're already hearing how powerful it is. So don't just listen to ads, run one. Go to nickhyder.com/contact-me or click the link in the show notes to get started. Let's put your brand in the spotlight right where it belongs. Jensen's over there like, yeah. I'm like,
so it's huge.
Hold on. That's not fair. Let's see. What's a movie from the 80s he would know? So we can just be even here. You know what I'm saying?
Back to the Future. No.
There you go.
I think he knows everybody knows Back to the Future.
That's right. Bull Durham.
Yeah. Oh, come on with it.
All right, now we're even. Hey, carry on.
So K-Pop Demon Hunter. I was like, oh, so song. He goes, yeah, it was called Your Idol. And I'm like, Demon Hunter, Your Idol. I said, let me go check this thing out. Now, he'd come home singing a song called Soda Pop from K-Pop Demon Hunter a couple weeks ago. And I check out the Soda Pop song, and Soda Pop song sounds a whole lot like a blowjob song, you know? But it's kind of hidden behind the fact that they're actually talking about a soda pop. And I'm like, okay, probably over the kid's head.
Yep.
To kid, it's probably about a soda pop.
Yep.
But to me, as an adult listening, I'm like, I want you to fill me up. I want to taste your flavor, blah, blah. I mean, like, so I kind of let that one go. This one come in, it literally says, I already have your soul. There's no way you can escape me. Like when you listen, I mean, I got the lyrics on my phone yesterday. I called the principal, and I don't want to be that parent, but I called the principal and I left her a message. And her vice principal called me back yesterday, and I told him, I said, hey guys, I don't know if y'all have actually looked at these lyrics, and I'm not accusing y'all of anything, but have you listened to the lyrics in this song? Because it's literally an incantation that's basically saying, you worship me now and I own your soul. Mm-hmm. And if you go look at the words, like there's no denying it. There's no, it could mean this or it could mean that. It means exactly what it says.
Yeah.
And I just had to let them know, like, I'm not okay. So if they want to continue doing that, that's fine. My kid needs to leave the room when that's going on.
There you go.
And so I want to be an active dad. I want to be in their lives as much as possible. I don't want them to not get world experience and not learn and all that kind of stuff. But every day leads me a little bit closer to I should probably homeschool.
Dude, the situation, my son's a sophomore. He's 16.
Yeah.
He's
a stud, by the way.
Thank you.
I follow all the social media stuff. He's great.
Well, dude, he's man. What he can do he just shreds on drums, bro. Like, it's insane what he can do on a drum set.
Yeah,
it's nuts. But daughter's in pre-K. My son goes to a hybrid school, which is phenomenal. So it's technically the state considers that a homeschool, but he gets to go on campus for a couple days.
That's what I want to do. Yeah.
It's amazing. And literally, so today he's not in school today, but he was doing his schoolwork this morning. And dude, he's done at like 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock, and then he can go work.
That's the other thing I hate about school. I mean, my son comes home, and he's only in second grade, but then he's got homework. I'm like, you've been there for 6, 7, 8 hours today, and now you got stuff to do at home. And then I get this thing, their math. I don't even know how to do their math.
Yeah,
it's this weird thing. It says 13 plus 6.
Oh, it's coming, bro.
And I'm like, okay, it's 13 plus 6. That's 19. And they're like, no, you have to be 13 minus 3 plus. I'm like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Well, you have to get it to 10, and then you do the numbers by the I'm like, that's the stupidest crap I ever. Why would you not just teach them that 3 plus 6 is 9?
Yeah.
And you already have the 10, so that's 19.
It's almost like if they gave out the dollars, you'd be like, hey, it's $10, and you give them a 10. They're like, no, we only take 2 5s.
Yeah. I mean, it blew my mind. So, that being said, I try to understand that they have years of research to back up why they think it should be this way, how you learn better, this or that. So you're not counting, on your fingers or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still like, guys, you're making it, to me, you're adding a subtraction into my adding. Mm-hmm. I'm just supposed to be adding, but now all of a sudden I got to take a number, change the number, make it a different number, and then minus that number from the other number. Like, you're adding like 7 steps to one problem that was just plus. Either way, it's leading me to that point to where I'm like, I don't want them to spend the majority of their day with somebody else raising them.
That's it.
Somebody else telling them what's right and wrong. and then them coming home to me. Now, the other part of it is I still got to work. I still got to do what I got to do. I got to make phone calls. I got to do all this other stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what is that balance. And I think a hybrid, like what you're saying, a situation where they go for a couple of days, learn there, and they, if I'm going to do homework with them anyways for an hour or 2 hours, why shouldn't that just be their schooling?
Dude, it's great, and he just has the gift of time, and we felt the same way you did. It's like, dude, if you guys can't get it done with him in the 8 hours that he's there, you're not good enough. Get better.
I don't understand it.
Get better.
I mean, so when I was in school in Perry County, we had a block schedule in high school. So you had an hour and a half in each class. So we'd spend 45 minutes learning, 45 minutes doing the work, and then we didn't have any homework. I never took homework home. And I thought I think that's way more peaceful. I think when you get home, you should be home. You should be with you. I mean, hey, you got stuff to do at home. You got to clean your room. You got to get your laundry together. Right. You got other stuff you got to do there. I mean, used to back in the day, before they go to school, they had to feed the chickens and the cows and milk them and bring it. You got to get up at 4:00 in the morning and get it all done.
That's right.
So I just feel like, I'm not saying it's right for everybody. Whatever you decide to do is your thing. I got to figure out, though, my goal is within this next year to figure out how am I going to change this. How am I going to make sure I have enough time or if I got to hire a teacher to come into my house and do it. But I just don't like the fact that I don't have any knowledge of what's going on, what's being said, what other kids are teaching them. He came home from the gym one day. He was just in the gym hanging out with other kids. And he come in, he goes, "Dad, can I get a Pennywise doll?" And I'm like, I don't even know what Pennywise, I didn't even know what it was. I'm Pennywise. Why do I know that name? And so I'll get on my phone and, of course, Google search it, and Pennywise, it comes up, the It Clown. I'm like, how do you even know about this? He was probably 4 years old. I was like, how do you even know about this? Oh, the kid had his iPad and he was showing us. He goes, it was a crazy clown. He's kind of like the Joker. I'm like, yeah, except for not anything like the Joker. Not the Joker that he's ever seen. I mean, he's only ever seen the animated series, shoots a gun and it's got a little
flag that pops out or a fist that punches Batman in the face, whatever, So I don't know. That's a big goal for me this year is to figure out how do I get them to where I am somewhat more in control of what's going in their mind and their body and their, that's the other thing too. I send them to school. I pack their lunch. They come home, their lunch is still there. I'm like, what'd you eat? Oh, I just ate the school lunch. I'm like, I didn't want you to eat the school lunch. I packed your lunch for a reason, I gave you organic steak. I gave you grass-fed beef to go there and eat. I didn't give you whatever crap they gave you at school. Yep.
So, like I said, I don't want to sound like one of those guys, but I guess I'm being one of those guys,
Dude, it's worth it. All I can tell you is it's worth it. It's one of the greatest decisions we ever made. We don't second guess it at all. They even have sports programs for those kids now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my daughter wants to do everything. She wants to play soccer. She wants to play basketball. She does gymnastics. My son's already a black belt or a deputy black belt in Taekwondo. He wants to do that, but he hasn't showed any interest in football, basketball, baseball, any of that kind of stuff, which kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I want him to want to play football so bad.
There's time.
Now, oh yeah, well, he's only 7, but now he's starting to get like, hey, Dad, you want to throw the ball a little bit? I felt like I was going to be reverse of most people. Like, my dad wouldn't even come out and throw the ball with me. Like, my son wouldn't even come out and throw the ball with me. Yeah. I'm like, hey, you want to go throw the football? No, I don't really like that. But, he wants to he wants to make his own YouTube channel. We just actually started his YouTube channel, his and Harley's together, and they did this blue watermelon trick. You have to check it out. But they got 3 subscribers so far.
There you go. They're about
to growing. It's about to grow. The Adventures of Jagger and Harley. But that's what he's interested in doing, and I don't want to force my dreams on him. My dream was to play in the NFL, which I didn't make it in the NFL, and there's a good reason why. And I got to tell Ben Roethlisberger this reason at a golf tournament last year at Walker Hayes' golf tournament. I got to tell him, if it hadn't been for the lack of talent and strength and speed and football knowledge, I would have made it in the NFL. If it hadn't been if I was good enough, I'd have made it. No, hey, it was funny. We were sitting there and people kept going up to Ben Roethlisberger and they kept saying, I was going to make it in the NFL, but blah, 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 blah. And they had something. I tore my knee out my senior year. I did this, I did that. Or, man, I was going to make it. But I the coach, like the other, the coach's son was getting to start over me, like that kind of thing. And I heard these people tell the stories. I'm sitting there, I bet he's so tired of hearing this crap. So it just so happened that my celebrity cart was right beside his celebrity cart, which he's a way bigger celebrity than me, but he don't weigh as much as me. So I guess I'm bigger.
That's
actually.
Right.
But I was sitting there and I said, hey, I said, Big Ben. He goes, what's up, buddy? I said, I probably could have made it in the NFL. He goes, oh, yeah, but what happened? And you can tell he was so tired of hearing it. I said, I just wasn't good enough. And he started laughing. I mean, he let out a cackle. He was like, he goes, that's about the best thing I've heard. I said, yeah. I said, I figure you got tired of hearing everybody's stories. I said, mine was just because I wasn't good enough to make it. So, he cracked up. Throughout my years of being on the tour, a lot of football players and baseball players, so like they love country music. I got to meet Jake Peavy and play guitar, sing with him, and Bernie Williams, great guitar player, phenomenal. But you get to meet them and you talk to them, and they got stories like, man, I wanted to be a singer. I'm like, I wanted to be in the NFL, know. And so, you get to meet them throughout the years. And when you really meet these human beings and you realize the difference.
That's right.
Not just in size, some of them size, but just the athleticism, the natural, like even guys that are not superstars in the NFL, but just made it to a practice squad. Yeah. It's insane when you meet them, how just naturally athletically gifted they are.
That's right.
And then I think what separates the difference, I think there's a lot of guys that have the natural athletic ability, but they don't have the football knowledge or the baseball knowledge or the work ethic to put in to get to that point. I think the guys that make it big, I mean, you look at like Palomalu, the guy wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the biggest, but had the nicest hair. But he knew where the ball was going to be at all times. Like he literally, like it didn't matter who was throwing it, where they were doing. He had the knowledge. He could read the offense the same way Peyton Manning would read a defense.
That's right. So that's right.
Anyways, what else are we talking about?
Well,
coming to an end.
I mean, honestly, man, yeah, dude, this has been. I mean, we've been killing it, dude. This is fantastic. So we covered Walmart drip, right? We covered the Biggest Loser Fit for TV reality show. We covered the big event in French Lick. We covered the Buffalo River Resort Haunted Woods and potential Christmas extravaganza.
Christmas Town, whatever we're going to call it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just every time I talk to you, you're doing something. There's something new in the portfolio and they all work. Yeah, well, not all of them. I've had plenty of failures along the way. But the ones that work are the ones you hear about. So, that's right. That's right. The Halloween thing's going to be called the Moonshine Massacre. Moonshine Massacre at the Buffalo River Resort. Yep. Moonshine Massacre. So, folks, once again, remember it's BuffaloRiverResortTN.com. Moonshine Massacre. I love it. We'll be coming. Listen to this.
Well, hey there, folks. Welcome to the Buffalo River Resort. Though some folks around here just call it the place you don't go after dark. Everybody wave at Smiley. He's going to be your guide tonight. He's the good clown, the friendly one. Don't believe me? Well, you're still breathing, ain't you? But let me tell you something. This land has a way of keeping secrets. Dark ones.
That's great.
I won't give you all of it, but that's Lance Carpenter. He's one of the partners out there in the resort as well. And he recorded that whole thing last night at his house on his home studio. And
that's cool.
It's kind of cool. One of the things, we have some advantages on stuff because we are, musical and we can create that kind of ambiance of what it's going to be. So it's exciting to hear those things. But yeah, we covered everything. We're the overall attraction.
Finding the right health plan can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Backed by over 12 years of experience and more than 20 national and local awards, Team Hyder is here to help you navigate your options and choose a plan that fits your family's needs and your budget. So whether you're looking for individual coverage, family plans, or even Medicare options, Team Hyder brings expert guidance with heart. Visit teamhyder.com today to schedule your consultation and get the coverage that you deserve. Vinny, I already look forward to episode 4. Don't forget, you gotta make sure that you connect me to Miles for real. Please do so.
I will.
Please do
Absolutely.
so. And folks, once again, everything you need to know is at BiggVinnyOfficial.com and BuffaloRiverResortTN.com and on all socials at Bigg Vinny Official. And what's the resort's social again? I just followed it.
I think it's BRRTN, but if you type in Buffalo River Resort, it should be the first one to pop up.
I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, there we go. It's Buffalo River Resort TN, and it's let's see. That's it. Buffalo River Resort TN. That's the username. So if you type in Buffalo River Resort, you'll find it. Love it. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Vinny, your time is always appreciated, brother, and it's always a good time.
I appreciate y'all.
I just want to do something else with you, man.
Let's do it. I know we got to find something we can rock and roll together.
Well, remember me backstage.
Oh, yeah. No, I will for sure. I think those things will be awesome. I remember when I came in, you had told me, you said, hey, here's my list, and you showed me the people that you wanted to do things. Obviously make some money together on and do some other things. You had me on the list. That meant a lot to me. I didn't take that for granted. So We've had a couple close ones. We've
That's
had
right.
some things that we threw into the works that didn't quite work out yet, but it's going to.
Well, also, seriously, before you guys kick off, the Moonshine Massacre, maybe I need to come on out there with the crew and videotape the experience.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a couple of run throughs where we're gonna invite some people out once we get all of our actors together in costumes and all that stuff and get everything set up. So we definitely do a night where we come out, maybe have you interview the different characters.
Absolutely.
I want to get
my son's never been to a haunted house before yet.
Well,
by the
come
way,
on, this will be the first one, and we're all ages. I mean, it's up to you if you want your kids to get scared that much. I mean, that's your choice. I suggest probably 14 and up, 15 and up. Kind of high school age. But some people love scary stuff.
That's right.
I went through haunted houses when I was a little kid.
I did. I sure did.
And I don't regret it. I have those memories. The first time I ever put my hand in a bowl full of spaghetti as worms.
Yep. That's right.
With the witch sitting there.
That's right. That's right. Well, dude, it's going to be an exciting fourth quarter for you for sure.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to it, man. So thanks for the time today, baby.
Hey, love it. Holla.
Folks, once again, big shout out to Bigg Vinny, the overall attraction, baby. Come on. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Hitstreak. I am your man, Nick Hyder. God bless.